Hi, and welcome to another installment of 30-second concerts behind the scenes. Today, I'm going to talk about hats and backdrops. Besides using our own hats, which is what I did a lot at the beginning, I've managed to purchase dozens of hats along the way for specific reasons. This one, for example, was purchased for Ride of the Valkyrie. You can see some other things up here. This was for the Nutcracker, and there are also multi-purpose ones. The policeman one comes in handy lots of different times. So does the bowler, anything old-timey. I've got some other hats up here, as you can see, the sailor hat. This gets used a lot in a lot of different ways. And I've also made some things. This one comes up a lot. This is just a foam ring with maybe $5 worth of flowers tacked onto it. And it gets added to a hat like that. And suddenly you've got something great going on. The hats certainly bring things to another level costume-wise, but none of that matters unless you've got a decent backdrop. And if you've listened to a previous episode, you know that the first backdrop was something came out of my parents' house that we had. But once I did that, I realized that you needed to put something more interesting behind you. And that first Christmas, I bought 6 backdrops, and that started the slippery slope of backdrop purchasing. Behind me here, you see the one storage area I have. What do we have here? We've got a Broadway backdrop. We've got a Hollywood backdrop. We have, this is sort of a generic, that's a TV studio backdrop. This is just a sort of generic one. And over here, excuse my disheveled basement. We've got a big house project going on, so everything is down here. It's a big mess. Also, some flags for patriotic things or the English things. For some reason, this one, whenever I use this, those videos do great. Spaceship, it's crazy. There's just too much of it. Spaceship, rock stage. And then we start getting into the Christmas. At this point, I probably have 8 or 9 Christmas ones. So the thing I guess you want to know about the backdrops is that, number one, they're not super expensive. Every one of them is under $15. I don't buy anything more expensive than that. They're all pretty much 5x7 or 6x8. Anything smaller than that is almost impossible to use. And they all show up folded up in little plastic bags, about a foot by a foot. So before any backdrop goes up, it needs to be ironed. And once it has been ironed, it needs to be steamed when it's hung. And it often takes multiple thumbtacks to get them into the wall. Once the backdrops are all steamed and hung and used, they have to be stored somehow. That first Christmas when I bought 6 of them and went through all that work, I realized I had to figure out fast how to store these things. I wasn't interested in doing all that ironing and steaming again and again. The solution I came upon was to hang them from nails in the basement. And I used these tiny little hook thingies that I got on Amazon. So I hang all of them, and it's been a real time saver. So there's a look at the hats and the backdrops that make up 30-second concerts. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and thank you, as always, for hanging in there and watching and supporting, and I hope you found this enjoyable, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks, everybody.